Drop that.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. After a pretty eventful day, I was pretty out of it, and I wasn't even sure if I actually even wanted to record and try to upload this video today. But you know what? I decided to watch the newest episode of My Hero Academia, and I'm gonna try to get this out as soon as possible tonight. It might be a little bit late, but, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And honestly, I wasn't sure what the fuck the whole point of this episode was. It was a special episode where, you know, they're supposed to save the world with love, and I wasn't really sure what the episode was going to contain. I really wasn't. I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't interested in it, and then the episode in the beginning became self-aware because All Might himself says they're in the middle of the provisional licensing exams. What the hell are they doing here? And spoiler alert, it's because they're trying to promote their fucking My Hero Academia movie. At the end of the episode, after everything happens, you know, from beginning to end, after the opening to, you know, after the ending credits, literally All Might was like, oh, if you want to find out what happens next after they go to Island, because that's where that's where they're going next, Midoriya and All Might, you have to go and watch the movie because this episode ties in with the movie from My Hero Academia. So I'm gonna be honest. I was like the whole time like wondering what the fuck the whole beginning part of the episode was for. I didn't get why this episode was even a thing in the first place. Turns out it was basically just a setup for what could possibly be happening in the movie. I don't know if it has already aired yet in Japan or if I can even watch it currently. But if I can watch it now, that would be great. But honestly. And I'm not sure if they're, you know, setting it up to where you can watch it in America. It's like already dubbed, but you can buy tickets for the My Hero Academia movie, you know, now and, you know, watch it from September 7th. Not September 7th. I'm thinking of Spider-Man PS4, which I still need to talk about. September 25th to like October 2nd, I think that's what it is. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough. In September, you know, September 25th or whenever I can with a couple of my friends. Hopefully we get to go and see it because I think that'd be really cool. But regardless, you know, the episode starts off and they have like a little like special within a special, and basically it's going back with All Might's like backstory. And apparently at one point. At one point in the episode, you actually see All Might with without the like shadow covering his eyes, which I thought was funny. But the whole like setup for this episode or this beginning part was to basically say that at one point All Might was in America and he actually had a sidekick, and his name is David Shield. I was really surprised to hear about that. He had a sidekick that, you know, supported him, and eventually, you know, All Might went over to Japan, and David Shield started to, you know, he stayed in America, and I guess he moved over to Island, and he started working on like some science bullshit, right? So the whole premise of the episode regarding what Deku and the others are going to be doing, there's 6 total members of the cast. And in my opinion, these are probably just, you know, the 6 of the most popular members of the current cast that we have currently, which is Deku, because that's obvious, it's the main character. Todoroki needs no explanation. Bakugo needs no explanation. Asui's there, so I guess that doesn't really need explanation either. None of these characters really need an explanation for why they're there. They're all the most popular characters, but, you know, it's Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Tenya Ida, Suyu Asui, and Uraka. So those are the 6 most popular characters, and that's the reason why they probably fucking chose them. At least I think they're the, you know, top 6 characters. You know, that's the reason why they chose them. So the whole premise behind the 6 of them and what they're doing is basically they're doing, you know, kind of like a small like hypothetical like hero mission where basically a villain has, you know, robbed a jewelry store. And the villain has barricaded himself, and he has a couple of hostages. Now, there are 3 hostages, and there's 1 villain. And the 3 hostages are actually Cementos, Midnight, and Present Mike, because they're just playing a role. This is just hypothetical. Let's say this actually was happening. And then, you know, All Might was actually the villain in the episode. So basically what happened was they went in, you know, they figured out that there was 1 villain, 3 hostages through Uraka. Bakugo fucking charges in. They find the villain fucking dead on the floor. And then Asui actually gets next to All Might as he's trying to pretend to be dead as the villain, and he actually moves around a little bit. And I say this now because it plays back to what happens in the end of like this whole fucking thing happening. So Asui just assumes that he's supposed to be dead, and that that's just how it is. He's not trying to be a villain who's pretending to be dead. Like, no, he's the villain, and he is dead. Like like hypothetically, he's dead in this scenario. And this basically is just like Batman type of shit where you're trying to figure out like who fucking killed this asshole, right? So the episode continues on. They start, suggesting that it's probably the hostages, but that doesn't really make any sense because they're all tied up. How would they get to him? And what was the motive? Why would they actually, decide to want to kill, the villain? There's no way out. All the fucking entranceways that are possible, they're all closed off, and no one can get in, no one can get out. So who was the fucking killer? Who killed the villain? Deku and like some fucking Bruce Wayne Batman fucking type of shit. He deducts that the villain and the hostage that's Midnight. He deducts that those two are actually connected to each other in some sort of way, and like the whole premise of save the world with love plays into the fact that he loves him and he loves her, and she was trying to stop him from continuing his evil villain acts. And so, because he panicked and the police came in because she just rushed in trying to stop him after calling the police, he barricaded himself inside of the building. And eventually, it got to a point where, pro heroes, which is, our six main characters, our six main characters of the cast, they show up and they're trying to, get in as much as possible. Where it's then the villain decides to actually, take his own life. The villain takes his own life because he loved and cared about, Midnight, who's playing as the hostage in this scenario. And then what do you know, this actually ended up being the fucking truth. This is actually how it was supposed to be planned in the first place. And Aizawa actually starts kind of praising Deku for figuring this out so quickly. And they pretty much do it. But something that actually really fucking surprised me, because it caught me off guard. I didn't know this was actually going to be a factor in the whole thing. But they actually failed. They got 0 points. They didn't pass whatsoever. And that's because Aizawa actually says there's one thing that you actually missed. The villain corpse is gone. And you want to know why it's gone? Because All Might picked his big ass up and started fucking running away. Because him as a villain was pretending he was pretending to be dead as a villain, whilst the villain was trying to pretend to be dead. That's what happened in the fucking episode. All Might runs away. They're all fucking surprised. Ida's like, wait, he's still alive. As a hero, our job is to go and stop him right now, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? It just, in the episode kind of just ends in the confusion. And All Might, he gets back to UA, and he actually had an email before he actually even left in the first place. And I was gonna try to pronounce the fucking person who sent the email to him, but it's a girl. It's the pretty much daughter of David Shield, Melissa Shield. That's her name. I guess that's how you pronounce it. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. I'm assuming she's like the daughter of David Shield, which was the sidekick to All Might. And basically, she's offering him to come over to Island to basically surprise her father. And All Might decides to want to go. And then they cut to All Might trying to stop Deku as he's trying to make his way, back to his home, back to his home, right? Which is where, he originally lived in the beginning of the series. So, surprise, surprise, Deku decides to, go with All Might, which didn't really surprise me at all. But the episode pretty much just ends, with Deku's having to try to get packed up and ready to leave to Islands, and that's pretty much it. The episode just ends there. We go to the end credits. After the end credits, that's where All Might was like, "Yeah, this is basically just a fucking promoter movie. Go watch it." And the previews, it basically just it shows what we think we're gonna see. We're gonna see, the main cast along with Shindo and a couple other, of the classmates from the other schools trying to deal with Gang Orca and his goons and shit. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video. Somehow I was able to stretch this video to be longer than it probably needed to be, but you know what? Fuck it. Why not? with what happened to me today, I honestly don't even fucking care. I'm surprised I actually got this much out of me in the fucking first place. Right? Regardless, I hope you guys did enjoy the video regardless. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button for more videos just like this. I'm talking really fast right now. I'm going to end the video now. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next fucking video. I'm out. Peace.